So this is kind of a part two to the video I just made. I got a couple more requests for me to expand on or talk more about the credit, which I will. Sometimes I get requests to talk more about a video. So I usually don't do part twos, but I felt like I could when I went back and listened to it. And some people was asking me about certain businesses that I mentioned. I only mentioned a couple, but it's a lot of us out here who have black businesses, or we doing business, and we need to support each other. And I tagged a couple of people in the video. I tagged Smash Jordan. I tagged Mike Roberts for different businesses. She has a nail salon here in Charlotte. Mike does graphic designs. I mean, I know a lot of people who do, different businesses or whatever, and a lot of y'all know them too. But we need to start supporting people. Again, we so quick to run. When we get some money, we want to run and give our money to other groups of people. Okay? Some of us, we give our whole paychecks to other groups of people. You go to the beauty supply, which is Asian. You drive an Asian car, and a lot of times you finance it with a company that's backed by Chinese companies or Japanese companies. You go to the corner store, which is the Arabs or the Indians, and you give your whole paycheck to another group of people. And then we wondering why we don't have anything in our communities. We wonder why our schools aren't doing don't have the funds they need, because the funds come from tax dollars. So as soon as we get some money or we make more money and we elevate ourselves, we take our money out of our own communities. That's what we're doing, and we've been doing that for decades, and we got to stop doing that, people. And it's silly because most of y'all want to go live on the South Side or in Ballantyne or some other part of Charlotte where the white people live at, and then you spend all of your time in the hood. Like I see you every day driving by my house. It's like, so you move down there just to come back to the hood every day. And I remember I was telling somebody that, I'm like, why did you even move away? Oh, I like where I live, but you always here. Like, so you drive 30, 45 minutes both ways every day just to come hang out with your cousins or your homeboy or your homegirl. Why didn't you just build your house? There's nice houses here. There's nice property here. Okay? Build up your own communities. Build up your own communities. Lots of nice houses over here on the west side, man. A lot of nice property. You could build your own. For example, some of y'all right here on Avalon, right? If you know West Charlotte, you right behind Wendy's is a little side street called Avalon. It's right off of Tuckasegee and right off of Tennyson. It's called Avalon. It's a side street. It runs basically, and it'll connect you to Glenwood. But anyway, what they did is they tore down, I think it was 3 houses, and they're building 6 on the same space. So for the money that you're buying one house down in Still Creek, for example, I know I pick on Still Creek a lot, but say, for example, in Still Creek, you're building one house down there. You could build 2 or 3 houses on your own property in your own neighborhood. So live in one and rent the other 2 out, or flip the other 2. Okay? However you want to do it, for the same amount of money. For the same exact amount of money. I mean, that's just good business sense. Why pay one price for one thing when you could pay the same price for 3 things? Okay? That's like buying one house and getting 2 free. But again, it's this mentality. We think we achieve some kind of level of success because we live near some other group of people. And we're the only group of people who does that. We're the only group of people who gets money, wins the lottery, whatever, get some kind of success, get some kind of money, or money, or money, and you want to go live next to somebody else. But y'all want to come hang out in the hood and party in the hood every weekend or every other day anyway. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Start building your own businesses, people. Stop thinking like an employee. And a lot of y'all have good ideas and have a lot of good skill sets. We've been making other people rich on our backs and on our labor and on our skill set for years. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. Do what you're supposed to do. This is in the Bible. I'm not even, like, this ain't Van's philosophy. This is God's word. God told y'all to do this. Okay? Before you even build your homes, learn how to work the field. No, we don't work fields anymore like we did in the biblical times, but the same concept is still applying. Get your shit together so you can buy a house. You can't buy a house first and then try to get your shit together. Get your shit together. But and then some of you are just renting a house anyway where you're paying somebody else's mortgage. You may as well be paying your own mortgage. Why are you doing that? So save your receipts. If you're renting a property, you're renting a house, save your receipts. And then that way you can use that as credit later. So even if your credit isn't perfect, if you've been on your job for a little bit of time and you got receipts for where you've been renting for 5 years, they'll put you in a house. And a lot of times, most of the time, buying the house is going to be cheaper than you renting it. In most cases. Okay? What else did I need to talk about? Credit. What I was saying is the best way to build your credit, okay, is very simple. The first step, the most easiest thing you can do right away tomorrow, if you got some money, if you got a minimum of $200, get yourself a secured credit card. Now, the reason I said try to get it with whoever you bank with, or make sure you can get a checking account, so that way it's easier for you to pay it off every month. All you got to do is transfer it. So you go onto the website or the app, and like when I go onto mine, which is Navy Federal, I see all of my accounts. I see my savings, I see my checking, I see my son's account, and I don't know if he know I can see it, but I can see his account. Me and him gonna have a conversation about that. But anyway, I can see his account. I can also see my credit card account. So whenever I need to make a payment, all I'm doing is transferring from my checking or my savings to the credit. And usually it goes through within a couple of hours. They say 24 hours, but usually it's faster than that. Usually it's almost instant. Within an hour, the payment is posted. Okay? So that makes it easy. Now you don't got to get a money order. You ain't got to write a check. You ain't got to call another company. You ain't got to do none of that. It's all the same company. Okay? So I tend to stay away from companies. Most major banks have their own secured card. I know Mechanic and Farmers doesn't. I have an account with them because I was trying to support black business, but they don't offer the products that we need to build credit in our community. So I had to stop effing with them. And same thing with Charlotte Metro. I went to them. They offer lines of credit, like loans, that you basically keep borrowing the money from yourself every month or every 2 weeks, or however you set it up. That's good too, but you want to start. You could do that later when you want to have different kinds of credit. That's a different discussion. But the first thing, let me back it up. That's the second thing to do. The first thing you do is download an app. Either Credit Karma is free or Credit Sesame, and that'll tell you what your credit score is, and it helps you monitor your credit. So and they actually will recommend you get a secure credit card too in most cases if you need one. Okay, so they'll tell you what your card is, what your utilization rate is. It gives you all kind of things. You can see everything, just like your credit report. It's a very good way to do it. It doesn't hurt your credit score because you're checking your own credit. So when you check your own credit, your credit score doesn't go down. Okay. Now, if somebody, like you go apply for a loan somewhere, and you're not already doing business with them, then they got to run your credit. Okay. But, typically, like if you got your bank, like say Wells Fargo, sometimes you'll get like flyers in the mail or little postcards in the mail wanting letting you know, hey, apply for this card, because they looked at your credit and they think maybe they can help you. But they're allowed to do that. That's part of the game. But then when you apply for the credit card, they're going to run your credit card again at that point, which is crazy. But anyway, use your own bank, because usually it doesn't hurt your credit score it's least likely to hurt your credit score as much as you going out trying to search for a credit card company and letting each company run your credit. Okay, start with a secure card if you know what your score is. Okay, so if your score isn't really in the high sevens, well, if it's not 7, if it's 7 and below, just get yourself a secure card. If you're anywhere 600 and below, anywhere in the 600s, you may be able to get a credit card with a 600, maybe. Depends. But definitely in the fives and fours, you definitely want to get yourself a secured credit card, okay? And it's nothing to be embarrassed about. All of us got bad credit. A lot of us got bad credit. So I'm trying to teach y'all how to fix that. It's not as hard as you think. You ain't got to have a lot of money. You can use the money that you're already using. And I use my card for everything. Even when I get a haircut, I use my card. And that's a way to build credit. And instead of using your debit card, which you're using it the same exact way, but you're not building any credit with your debit card. And people got, I got a credit union. The credit union is not helping you build your credit. Just having a credit union account does nothing for your credit. And they're not going to, if you have bad credit, they're not just going to give you a loan even if you have bad credit. You got to have good credit with them too. Okay. Now, typically they have other products to help you, like the little business loans and signature loans and things, other things you could do to build your credit. But I'm not talking about that right now. Okay. That's where the credit unions come into place. Okay. But because I use a credit union, which is Navy Federal. Okay. And anybody who wants a credit union account and you want a Navy Federal or a North Carolina state employees, I'm a member, so usually you got to know a member, be referred by a member so you can get an account with them. So anybody who wants to do it, especially with Navy Federal, let me know and I'll hook you up. Okay, it don't cost me nothing. But I really love Navy Federal and they have excellent customer service. Excellent. Their customer service is the best that I've ever had with a bank. Okay. And I worked for Wells Fargo in customer service, and they were better than us. But anyway, so start with the credit app, Credit Karma or Credit Sesame, or both. It's up to you. I prefer Credit Karma. Once you do that, now whoever you bank with, if you need a bank to be recommended, like I said, Navy Federal, you can do Wood Forest. I think they have a credit card. If you can't get one of the big banks like Wells Fargo or Bank of America. I think there's also a black bank. I don't know too much about them yet. I want to look into them, which is One Financial. One Financial, I think is the name of it. You usually see them advertising on Facebook and on Instagram. They have their cards have like black themes, like Malcolm X or somebody African or something like that. But I believe they're a black bank, and I'll do another video specifically on that when I find out more information. But anyway, so then so step 2 is get yourself a secure card. Start with either 200 or 500 or more. It just depends on your needs. I recommend you want to build up to the point where that you don't even use a debit card no more. When I worked for Wells Fargo, that's what I realized that white people were doing. They would every month they would just pay. They would use their credit card for everything and then pay it off for everything. It's the same account. So think about it. Why would you not do that? So why would you use your debit card when you get points for using your credit card? I know Navy Federal has a point system with their card. And you get points where you could use the points at different online merchants, and it's just about they got Walmart, they got the Gap, they got just about any kind of store is in their online merchant store that you can use your points on. You could buy cruises, all kind of things for the stuff that you're doing every day. So usually it's about $1. $1 equals 1 point. Okay, so just think about it. If you're paying your rent every month, say you're paying $1,000 a month in rent, just in rent, okay, people probably saying, oh, my landlord doesn't take debit cards. Well, here's the way around that. You can go to Walmart and swipe your credit. Well, no, now you can't do that. You can't even do credit cards. Some places let you buy a money order with your credit card. Some places don't. I guess now that I'm thinking about it, the only way you can do that is if your landlord actually accepts some type of credit card. A lot of them do now because of Square and because of PayPal, and a lot of them have like a way to swipe your card, and charge your card. So or if your landlord doesn't request that, they do. There's an app, I forget the name of it at the time, that does it for you. Like all you got to do is show through your bank that you made a payment on your rent and other things, and it adds it to your credit card report. So that's a little bit more complicated, but you can do it. The app makes it easy. There's a way to do it that way too. But it's all about building credit, and the way you build credit is by using it. So why not? You're already making purchases. You paying your light bill, your gas bill. You're buying gas for your car. You're paying insurance for your car. So just add all of that stuff up and set a goal for yourself. So maybe your bills come out to $2,000 a month. So your goal should be eventually, say in a year's time, to have $2,000 in credit. So you don't necessarily want to, you may not have the money to do $2,000 in credit on a secure card, but start with what you can start with, 200, 500, and then build up. So if you start with 500, then after a certain amount of time, they'll offer to extend your credit for you. So now they're giving you a little more credit. Might say, okay, we're going to give you another 250. So now you got 750. After a year, you might be at 1,000. So just build your credit that way. But you're already doing what you need to do. You're not working smart. You're working hard. You're working against yourself. So work smart, people, not hard. Hard work is not good. Work smart. The rich people don't work hard. They work smart. So think like they think. Who works hard? The slaves. That's us. Okay, we at the bottom. Okay? No matter what they tell you, y'all think about the LeBrons and the Oprahs and the Puffys. The concentration of black wealth in this country is still the same exact amount, 0.05%. That's what it was at the end of slavery. It's still the same. So even though LeBron got all this money and Oprah, all we doing is taking money from each other. They not giving us no more money because the wealth gap hasn't shrunk. Okay? So we've actually moved backwards. Contrary to what the Democrats want you to believe, the Democrats want you to believe, oh, black people are doing so well, and Trump is, unemployment as at the least. Unemployment doesn't equal wealth. Or employment, rather, doesn't equal. Just because you got a job don't mean you're making money. So, yeah, a lot of us got a job. A lot of us got 2 jobs. Because they not paying the money that our grandparents was making. We making less money than what our grandparents made. Okay? So just having a job is not the answer. That's why a lot of y'all need to support unions in wherever you work. If you work in a call center, find out how to unionize. Okay? There's already a call center union. You just got to reach out to them and find out how you got to unionize. Okay? And that way you got somebody to advocate for you and you won't be getting fired for all of this stupid stuff. And it happens to all of us. I got into the call center game in 2004 is when I got into the call center game. Okay? And I don't know many people who I worked with who are still in the call center game. A lot of us been bouncing from call center to call center. I stayed long in Convergence, which was 10 years, but hell, that was rare. Okay? But most of us, we bounce around because all they doing is looking for a revolving door because they don't want to pay us. So before you really start getting a chance to have your money and your benefits, they get rid of you. Okay? But I hope that makes sense. And I guess maybe I'll do a 3rd series to this video. Hit me with your questions. Follow V.